Program ekijomanyi omulungi atugoberera ku mpewo za 941 ebipya olunaku olwaleero bizuuse ku bannaffe abaakwatibwa nga bali ku laalo y'omukulu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu ennaku z'omwezi nga 7 omwezi ogwa November bwe yali ng'agezaako kubanga akuba campaigns wali mu Mbarara ne Mbarara City. Rizzi Region Police Spokesperson omukulu Samson Kasasira avuddeyo olunaku olwaleero n'annyonnyola ku bawagizi b'omukulu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu ababadde bajja nga bakwatibwa mu bitundu ebyenjawulo ng'omukulu ono akuba campaigns. Abaana 95 bateereddwako emisango gy'okubanga baataataganya abapoliisi nga bakola emirimu gyabwe, emisango gy'obubbi, okwonoona ebintu n'emisango gya traffic omuli okuvuga nga tebalina layisinsi, okuvuga pikipiki nga tebalina elementi n'okuvuga emmotoka ezitalina insurance. Ate bo abalala namba 3 bagasimbaganye n'omulamuzi Esther Bagala ku level ya grade 1 magistrate court era ono yasabye bakomewo ennaku z'omwezi 19 omwezi ogwa November. Bo abalala 38 bateereddwako omusango gw'okubanga baataataganya DPC wa Mbarara omukulu Komanda Kenneth Kawingo ng'akola emirimu gye egy'obwa poliisi. 38 bano omusango baagweganye bwe batyo nga bayita mu looya waabwe Shamim Malende basabye bail naye nga bail teyabaweeweddwa. Abaana abalala 5 omuli Onesmus Kasirye, Moses Mugabi, Godias Mwesije, Magembe Kasim ne Adrian Talemwa bo bateereddwako emisango gya kuvuga nga tebalina license, tebalina driving permit n'okuvuga ebidduka ebitalina insurance era nga bo bakomawo ennaku z'omwezi 14 omwezi ogwa November baddemu bagasimbagane n'omulamuzi. Ate bo abawagizi b'omukulu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu abalala 9 bakwatibwa mu district eya Alebtong era olunaku olw'ejjo bagasimbaganyeko n'omulamuzi wali ku Lira Chief Magistrate Court era ng'omulamuzi yabasindise wali mu Lira Central Prison ng'emisango egyabadde gibavunaana mwabaddemu okubba n'okwonoona ebintu by'abantu nga kigambibwa nti emisango gino bagikola ennaku z'omwezi 28 omwezi ogwo October mu kyalo bali bakiyita Obot Village. Kigambibwa nti bano bayonoona motoka ya polisi, babba laptop, babba engoye ne lita 2 ez'amafuta ga diesel. Bano nno omwenda kuliko omwami Bukenya, Liberty Lekeru, kuliko omukyala Masitula Nakabuye, Laston Waiswa, Hope Nasozi, Kagwa Sulaiman, Regan Kamlegeya, Twaha Kavuma ne Muzambiru Gayi bebo omwenda. Ate nga bo abalala 3 babatadde ku bail omwabadde Steven Katamba, Alozius Lubega ne Precious Po oluvannyuma lw'okufuna ababeeyimirira. Ate ye Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro ononno nga yakwatidde ekibiina kya NUP card ku kifo ky'obwa MP Nakawa East olunaku olwaleero naye azzemu n'agasimbagana n'omulamuzi Nakawa ku Magistrate Court oluvannyuma lw'okwongerwako omusango ogugambibwa nti yakumaakuma mu bantu okola effujjo omwafiira mu kuumaddembe. Ono ng'ayita mu balooya be asabe bail wabula omulamuzi ky'atakkiriziganyizza nakyo ng'agamba nti bwe banaamuwa bail ajja kubanga ayingirira okunoonyereza okugenda maaso wamu n'ebizibiti oba obujulizi poliisi bwe muyinako. Omulamuzi asabye olunaku olwaleero addemu agasimbagane naye ennaku z'omwezi 2 omwezi ogwa Desemba omwaka guno gwennyini.
Of keeping the longevity of anarchy and dictatorship. I repeat, supporting Bobi Wine is not a crime. I am not a criminal and I'm not on trial. It is my liberty that is on trial. It is my liberty that is on trial. I am not a criminal. I am not on trial. It is my liberty on trial. This is political persecution. Many people are out there, criminals are out there, but working for the longevity of the system. I am not a criminal. Supporting Bobi Wine is not a crime. Bobi Wine is not a crime. Therefore, I am not a criminal. They are just isolating us to gag us from representing the party that we believe in. It is the idea, it is the generational mission that we are looking after, making sure that we liberate this country for our children and our children's children. I am not a criminal. And supporting Bobi Wine is not a crime. This is democracy on trial. The sanctity of the doctrine of separation of powers, the independence of the judiciary, the independence of the legislature. It is what is on trial, not Alex Waisanfumilo on trial. It is the independence of the judiciary on trial. It is the sanctity of the doctrine of separation of powers on trial. It is not Waiswa on trial. And we will fight until that is happening for our children and our children's children. What is on trial is my liberty. It is the liberty of all and sundry, of sane minds of this country, not Alex Waisanfumilo. You have seen officers at the rank of SSP beating up people in supermarkets and being released in 2 days. And then people like Waiswa cannot be released to go and do what they're supposed to do, to stand for the positions they're supposed to stand for. Ours is an idea. It is not criminality. We are using democracy to overcome violence, and violence will never defeat democracy. It will take time, it will take a tall order, but those who are resilient and strong will always overcome, as long as we absorb our fear as a people. Ugandans, absorb your fear, absorb your fear. We can do this. We have an opportunity on January 15th. Vote Kyagulanyi Robert Ssentamu as your president, vote Balimwezo as your Lord Mayor, and of course, those people of Nakawa East constituency, Alex Waisanfumilo as your member of parliament. I am unwalkable. I will stand for what is right. I will stand for what is true. And I will make sure that this country gets back to the constitutional order. The revolution is on. The mission is generational. We cannot turn it back. It is an idea. We need to be strong. We need to be firm. We need to be committed. We need to be resilient to all and sundry in this country. We should struggle and fight for our nation.
Nakonde Rahima program H.
As if the applicant, or as if the applicant has had a conviction on those matters. I believe the provision cited was misconstrued. Of the applicant interfering with witnesses, the state indicated to court that investigations in this matter are still ongoing, and that the applicant will interfere with witnesses if released, and given the way the offense was committed, he would have access, according to the state, he would have access to the platforms which he used to commit the same offense. And that submission was refuted by the defense for reasons that no witness or materials were supplied to court, were shown to court to guarantee the interference, and invited court to disregard such an objection and grant the accused person bail. I wish to note that indeed, as highlighted by the state, the investigations are still ongoing. And given the status of the applicant in the society, being a deputy spokesperson of the lead opposition party in Uganda, with command and respect, and means, in my view, he would interfere with investigations, and there would be witnesses. So in order to preserve the integrity of the investigations and public confidence in justice, it would only be fair that the accused is temporarily remains in custody to pave the way for speedy investigations and for justice to be seen to be done. Therefore, considering the submission of the defense team, the response by the state, the application, the rejoinder, and having considered the law, the nature of the offense, the ability to accuse it is charged of, its gravity, the status of the investigations, the effect of the offense on the society, and having considered the balance of interest between the applicant's right and the public, I decline to grant the accused person bail but rather advise him to reapply when investigations are complete, and consequently direct that the state expedites investigations and so on.